was amazed at the amount of children in the grammar schools that my son has told me has already experienced just about every drug that is out there. So it starts at a very, very early age, and I think the schools, that's what they need to nip it in the bud, so to speak. Start with the grammar schools. Get these speakers out there. Get these kids out there that have lived this life and know what it's like to literally sleep on the streets.
And welcome back to Western New York Living. Are schools doing enough to educate the kids on the drug problems today? And are parents getting involved enough with the schools to help their kids? We took that question to our mom-to-mom panel.
We find it hard to get parents to come to these things. Our PTG has these, and like you said, it never can be my child. You know, I send out letters before the prom, please don't have parties, and there's been times where we've taken stuff off of a bus and parents get mad when we call them to pick the stuff up and tell the kids, I'm going to give it back to you. I mean, it doesn't happen often, but it happens. But it's hard to get the parents to come to these meetings. We've had them, they sponsor them. We've even had this year at Open House, you could come in here at the auditorium anytime during the 3-hour evening and see Renaissance House speakers come and talk. And I don't think the number of parents came down that should have. It's tough. We're trying, but it is very, very tough. And how do you meekly suggest or try to suggest to a parent that you feel their child is doing drugs? It's like slander, it's this, it's that, and you even admitted that, not my kid. It's really hard, you know, but you just have to take a stand and try to do that.
I think for the schools, you're going to get more of a reception by having children like our children from Renaissance brought into the schools, because they're going to be honest. A parent is not going to be honest. I wasn't. I told people, no, you're not talking about my son, would never do that. But these kids are going to be very honest to these kids that they're talking to. They're going to tell them the story. And I think that is more effective in a school, a grammar school, a high school, a middle school, than if you can't get the parents to come in. That would be my suggestion, and it helps.
I've seen that.
My daughter said that. She said she came home immediately from that, and she went through the DARE program, and they do learn a lot of information, and it's verbatim, and they write out what they learned and so forth. But when she came home from that, I commend those children and young adults who do that. She said it was phenomenal to hear that. She said she actually was shaking when the child was speaking, because she said, it was me standing up there. It was an honor student. It was somebody who I would never have, the way they described themselves was like me, I was describing myself. And she said, I couldn't believe that person had this drug history.
When I suspected it, they said, no, it's not possible. He can't be doing this, he can't be doing that. And at the point in time when they reported that they suspected something, I had lost a lot of faith in that school. And the school systems, the more you can educate the parents, the more you can educate the children and make them aware. I wish I would have known half of what the Renaissance House taught me, and in the classes that we had to go through and the support groups that we went through. I wish I would have known that when I was going through this with my son, just to be more aware of what was out there, what help was there. So the more you can educate, that's the best advice I can give you. The more knowledge you can give, the best you'll have success with.
And the education begins right here as we discuss kids escaping drugs. Once again, Jody Altman from the Renaissance campus and Dick Gallagher from Kids Escaping Drugs join me. So what's the problem, Dick? Is it that the schools aren't doing enough education, or are the parents not working with the schools enough?
Well, I think that that both of them could do a better job, but particularly with the parents. I think that they have to understand the tremendous magnitude of the problem, the fact that it can happen to their kids. We have children who wind up in the hospitals overdosing. We have kids that are winding up in the criminal justice system, and the parents are not paying attention, linking them into treatment. They don't understand the urgency and the magnitude of the problem. If you have a school seminar because the issue is lead, you have 1,000 parents. If the issue is alcohol and drugs, you have 50 parents. That speaks volumes. And the parents have to step up to the plate and get better informed.
Jody, would you say that the schools are doing better than they had, say, 5 or 10 years ago?
They are. They are. We are now doing a new program, a face-to-face program, where we actually partner with the schools. When a child's in trouble, we can work with them to get their child to come see our campus, to meet with some of our kids. We can talk to the parents. So there are schools that are taking a more proactive approach. My personal feeling is we can always do more, and we need to get into the younger schools. When you start dealing with this in high school, it's too late. We need to be in the grammar schools. Middle school's too late. We need to, as soon as they're walking, as soon as they're talking, we can start to educate.
Okay.
Then I think we'd see a change.
All right, thank you, Jody. Thank you, Dick. When we come back, we're going to be discussing how computers and cell phones are helping your kids get the drugs they desire. And remember to tune into the Kids Escaping Drugs Telethon tonight from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. right here on Channel 2. And right now, you can go to KED.org to see some of the great auction items they'll have up for bid tonight. Great items like autographed Sabres and Bills jerseys. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.